Hello and welcome to You Don't Know Jack. We are the Outsiders Looking In. My name is Chris Brown.
And I'm Hubert Maitland.
And this is Season 3, Episode 18. There was a correction from last episode. Last episode was 17. This is 18. We are now T-minus 2.
We had a minor complication with the last episode. So technically, this is the last episode that we're gonna do. Like
we're just gonna call that the lost episode.
The lost episode.
It's gonna be the lost episode.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna move right along. we know what happened.
Lost. Yeah, that was.
We know
lost.
what happened. So we are now T-minus 2 episodes away from episode 20 of this year, which would be for our 3-year run, 100 episodes in total. So definitely looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to some of the things that we got planned. But hey, we're recording on Election Day, November 3rd, 2020. Never thought I would actually see this day. It's just been that type of year. But I'm glad that I voted early, so I don't have to worry about it. And I guess we'll just kind of go on and see what the sports world has for us, right? That's all we can do, right?
I'm voting for a new president for the NFL. Or commissioner, but
new commissioner.
No, he's the president. So
yeah, we should be able to vote on that too as Americans, right?
I feel like we should vote on new organization that could take over the NCAA. We should be able to vote Dana White out for MMA. We should be able to do Vince McMahon out from WWE. Like, just anything. I mean, I want to make my voice heard. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, just go vote crazy, man. I hear you. It's all about democracy in America. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we do.
We're a republic, so we don't know what democracy really is.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. But you know what isn't sad? The fact that we have sports, particularly football, NFL football, to kind of hold us over while we deal with everything else that's going on in life. Hey, but you know how we do it here. Everyone has an opinion when it comes to sports. But I think that we should sit back, relax, and enjoy the uncertainty of sports and entertainment around the world because I don't know and you don't know
Jack.
Let's get into some shout outs.
Shout it out. Yes, we can on some shout outs. It's your boy, since you're an Alabama fan. Or sort of. You were. You were.
College football is just not my thing.
How? College football is better than NFL.
Nah, I've always been an NFL guy.
Oh, well, I guess whenever I played NCAA on PlayStation or Xbox, it was better than Madden, but that's just me personally. Tua is finally the starter for the Miami Dolphins, and we wanted to shout him out for all the hard work he did coming out of Alabama with a broken hip, being replaced by, I guess, Jalen. Jalen replaced him the last couple of games, but I think he came back in. But for all the adversity he went through to come back to go to the NFL as a 5th round pick, and to now start halfway through the season of his rookie year in the NFL. And not only start, ladies and gentlemen, he won.
Yes.
That was hard to do with all the hype against a very, I was going to say very good team. Now, but very...
it is a good team.
It's just, it's like my Eagles. They only go as far as Jared Goff will take them. And Jared Goff if he doesn't have a good game, I saw a graphic when I was watching the game saying if he throws 1 interception or more, they have a 500 record. If he throws 0 interceptions, they are almost unstoppable.
Yeah.
So, and like we saw, he threw what? Maybe I think he threw like 2 interceptions that Sunday.
Yeah, he threw 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown, had 355 yards. He threw the ball. He attempted 61 passes. It's crazy, absolutely crazy.
That's Sean McVay's offense. They have. Yeah. They don't have a running game. Once Todd Gurley left, they've been trying to manufacture some type of running game. They can't. They couldn't keep doing it. So they have 3 backs in rotation. they're trying to get the job done, but it's all on Jared Goff. And Jared Goff, even with some premier wide receivers in Cooper Cup
Mhm.
and Robert Woods and all those guys, I mean, how are
He
you?
can't do it by himself. Throwing 61 passes in a game, like there are a lot of people that love that. I think that's a horrible disservice to your quarterback. For instance, obviously Tua is a rookie, but Tua only attempted 22 passes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh
and
yeah,
they ended up winning the game 28-17. But I just, man, 61 passes. That is mind-boggling to me.
that's like you need to.
Absolutely
They
mind-boggling.
need to put that picture on a pitch count next time because I don't know what that was.
I would love to see stats on, how many times a quarterback goes over 50 passes and actually wins in
That'd be
like a
actually
regular in a regulation game.
yeah, that'll be actually that would actually be an interesting stat to look at because I know some it all depends on the offense that you're running.
Hmm.
Like I said, Sean McVay is a very pass happy offense. Andy Reid's a very pass happy offense. I mean, you look at Patrick Mahomes; he can be easily in the 40s every game. Um, I know with Tampa Bay, Bruce Arians, he's a very pass happy coach. So Tom Brady will be throwing quite a few passes, even though Tom Brady's passes are like for 2-3 yards.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it just all depends on the offense that you're running.
It's funny that you mentioned the GOAT, Tom Brady. Uh, it's crazy. I think I have, if I'm looking at my stats right, I've got this Reddit link right now where somebody actually created a visualization of QBs with 50 plus pass attempts and how often they win. Tom Brady's up there, 27 games. Has a record of 18-9 when he passes for more than 50 attempts.
Mm,
With
okay.
more than 50 plus attempts in a
How
game.
many how
So
many how many quarterbacks are on that list there?
a lot of quarterbacks are on the list, but nobody has a winning percentage like Tom Brady. And it
What's the
speaks to what you're saying. You're
right?
talking about the fact that he only throws like, maybe 10 yards down the field.
This is not even. It's like 5 yards. It's like 5-6 yards dump offs, little crossing routes. They just do it with efficiency because they have playmakers. I mean, you get those little guy Miller. They have tight ends like OJ Howard, who's injured, but
Mhm.
still he's an incredible athlete. They have Mike Evans, and we didn't even talk about Antonio Brown, who's a big addition to that team
Yeah, he's about
going
to
forward.
come back to
So
that team.
yeah, so I mean, like they've got weapons, and that's why he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Not Tom Brady, Tampa Bay, because it's Tampa Bay that's going to lead him to a
Do you
championship.
mean the GOAT,
Ah!
Tom Brady?
Every time you say that, I'm gonna just do
Hey man, he is a beast. Six rings. But
three actual rings. The other three are cheating rings. Just saying. I'm just gonna keep saying that. The other three are cheating rings. Okay.
hey man, everybody's got to cheat a little bit, right?
That we win with integrity in Philadelphia. Okay.
Okay,
That's how we win.
okay. Gotcha. Hey, you beat the GOAT, so you should be happy, man.
No, no.
Okay, wow.
Everybody's gonna say that Nick Foles beat the GOAT. Everybody's gonna say Nick Foles beat the GOAT.
I mean, the whole Philly team beat the GOAT.
Thank you. No, well, actually, what happened was because if Brandon Graham did not fumble Tom Brady, he would have ran right down the field and scored because he's been doing that his whole entire career.
Yeah, he
Just
did
at the
that
end
to
of the game,
Atlanta, and Atlanta still has not recovered to
right?
this day.
Yeah, yeah. So like he would have went right down the field and scored
Yep,
if he had not come up with that one ditch effort last strip sack
yeah.
fumble.
He had the ball with what, about 2 minutes?
Yeah, it
1:30 to
was. I
two
think it was.
minutes.
Yeah, I think it was late in the fourth quarter. Like
Yeah,
he was chewing time off the clock.
yep,
Couldn't stop him, but he was methodically moving down the field like he's
yep.
done for ages with Bill Belichick. And yeah, it would have been ugly if Brandon Graham wasn't the hero. They should have made a statue for him instead of Nick Foles. All I'm saying.
Hey man, Philly all day. Philly. I don't know how we got all the way down
I
that
really don't
track,
either. Yeah.
but
Back to Tua and
yeah, back to Tua.
his brother Tuola. I don't know how you say his name.
Oh,
To
I haven't even
to
seen his brother play. His brother is not playing, right?
His brother plays for Maryland. Maryland. I don't even know their. That's how much I don't even pay attention to Maryland.
The
But
Terpins.
the Turbans. Turpins. Yeah, he led them to pretty much a comeback win, scoring the go ahead touchdown Friday night, I believe. And yeah, it was just a good day for the Tago.
Tagovailoa.
Tagovailoa household. You see, I hesitated. I don't know how to say any of that. Tago.
It's all right. It's all right. The
That's like saying
tag team. They were
Giannis
the tag team. The Greek Freak. Yeah, Tua needs a really good nickname. Like I don't know what to call him. TT.
TT.
Everybody call him TT. But then you don't know because his brother's name is
TT.
Tylea or Tylua. So yeah.
Tayula, whatever. I don't care. You know what? I don't care. It's fine.
This is mega country.
You know, I was thinking that too. I was thinking what I could do. But I couldn't think of anything. I really couldn't.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy.
Wow. That's
yeah.
okay. Moving right along.
But yes, we want to congratulate the Tagovailoa family for having an extraordinary weekend. Hopefully they can do it again next weekend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I look forward to it. I don't know. I got a lot of issues with what's going on in Miami, but we'll save that for another podcast. All right. What do we got here on the sheet?
Well, since we didn't really have a chance to delve into what happened in the MLB, I just wanted to go ahead and shout out the LA Dodgers for winning again their World Series. It was a extraordinary World Series. Came down to Game 6, I believe, and the Dodgers took it against the Rays. So just want to congratulate them again. To next year, that'll probably start earlier than a lot of players expect or really want to be. I know the NBA is about to do that, so just kind of shout out to all those guys that are doing well, that are winning.
Yeah, winners. LA is definitely the town of winners right now.
Lakers, Dodgers.
Yep, and maybe the Rams or the Chargers. So
no, they're not gonna win nothing.
Did the Chargers win last week?
Nope. They turned into a LA Atlanta Falcons team. They were up, I believe, 24-7 or something like that. Going into the, I don't know. Don't call me on that. They were up big, and then they lost in the fourth quarter. So
yeah, they got whooped. They were up 30. Well, maybe 24 to 10.
Yeah,
Denver put a 21-piece up on them in the fourth quarter.
It's Denver.
Over.
It's Denver is what I want to let that sink in. It's Denver.
I mean, Denver's 3-4. They have a better record than the Chargers right now.
They have a better record than we do. So, it's fine. Whatever.
It is what it is.
It's cool.
But you guys are the number one team in the NFC.
We don't want to talk about that. We'll talk about
how about them Cowboys?
We're going to talk about the NFC least in the hot topic. So we'll just say all my thoughts and rampages for that time.
All right. Well, let's transition over to college football then. Some big NCAA news happening. None bigger than Trevor Lawrence, the major big-time prospect quarterback from Clemson. Where is Clemson? North Carolina?
Sure.
I think it's North Carolina. Yeah. Clemson Tigers.
South Carolina, I think.
South?
We'll just look it up. We'll look it up here.
We don't know Jack. We'll look it up.
Jack.
Yeah, but while you're looking that up, so Trevor Lawrence obviously having a very good year. The Clemson Tigers are, I think they're undefeated right now. They're first
Clemson
in
is
the
in
Atlantic.
South Carolina.
Clemson's in South Carolina. Gotcha.
Yes.
South Carolina. Thank you. Yeah, they are currently undefeated, but they last week, Trevor Lawrence, I think we reported it. Trevor
Yeah.
Lawrence came down, tested positive for COVID. Excuse me, tested positive
Corona.
for coronavirus, and he was unable to play. His backup started for him. It was a rough game to start out with. I
Start
think they were
out.
down
Yeah.
by what 20 at half or 17 at the
18, I
halftime.
think it was at halftime.
Yeah, one of their biggest comebacks ever. So they were able to pull it out, able to stay undefeated. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence will miss another game
And
this
this one is
weekend.
bigger than the one they played last week.
Exactly.
I mean, they
This
played
one,
Boston College last week. So, I mean, test, but not really.
yeah.
Now they're playing Notre Dame, which, again, test, not really. But they're a little
Mm,
bit better than Notre Dame, than Boston College is because they are ranked.
exactly.
And
They're ranked number 4 in the nation. Notre Dame has been on a roll. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Without Trevor Lawrence, I guess he had to quarantine for 14 days or so.
yes,
Without Trevor Lawrence,
or
this is going to be a very different team.
or until he's symptom free, or
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a tough one. Very. I don't know what to say to Dabo. I mean, obviously, he's got a lot of other people on the team that can make plays, but Trevor Lawrence has a command of that offense that I haven't seen. He's got a lot of poise
yes, he
in the
does.
pocket, and
He does.
he seems to always make the right play. So yeah, it's a big loss for them. Hopefully they'll be good. They'll be able to win because I'm a Clemson fan. I don't really like college football or college
I was about to say we
sports,
just talked
but
about this.
I'm a Clemson fan. I root for Clemson. I'm not gonna lie, except for when they played LSU because Joe Burrow is a beast, and he won for my Bengals this week. So I'm still gonna support Joe
I'm gonna
Burrow no matter what.
I'm gonna find a video
Hmm.
that that kind of has where it I guess I'm trying to say the Pilgrims back in the West, how they had their bandwagons going across the desert, trying to get from one place to another. So I'm gonna put a graphic
Um,
there. Bandwagon, you're bandwagoner right now. Bandwagoning on to Clemson right now.
yeah, that's fair.
You're
In college
bandwagoning.
football, I go for whoever I think is going to win.
So technically, you're
I'm
not.
okay with that.
So you're not going for my Florida State Seminoles.
I was going for your Florida State Seminoles when you guys played Auburn in the national championship.
Yeah.
So yeah, and when you lost to Oregon in the national champion or
We don't want to talk about that.
CFP. No, you don't want to talk
We
about
don't
that.
talk about that.
No,
Mm-mm.
okay. Or
The
when you
time
lost to Alabama, I was going for you guys.
please don't talk about that. We
Oh
like to
man.
forget. We like to forget those things.
Yeah, you gotta remember, I'm an Orlando Magic fan in the NBA. I haven't had anything to be happy about in about 10 years. So
That's true.
I'm a Bengals fan in the NFL. I haven't had anything to be happy about in about 10 years too. So
That's true.
I just take the wins where I could find them. And right now, well, if Trevor doesn't come back, Clemson may not be good, but they're good right now. They're good for right now.
Yeah, I don't think they're. It's gonna take. Trevor reminds me of Dak Prescott in Dallas. I guess let me rephrase that.
Mhm.
Clemson with Trevor's situation reminds me of Dallas' situation with Dak Prescott. Dak
The
makes
injury and the
right.
okay, gotcha. Okay.
Dak makes that team go. Like and a couple years ago, I wouldn't have said this. I would have said that Zeke is the one that made it go, but Zeke has regressed to a monumental level, and you can see because I mean if Dak was playing Sunday night against us, yeah, we'd have gotten beat 50-0. That would have been an awful game. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Dak has taken a lot of steps, but I still think Carson Wentz is the prototypical quarterback that I would want. I just still feel like Carson Wentz is a better passer, has a better arm. Dak is clearly a better runner. I don't know. Prayers up to Dak. That was just a tough injury. I hope he's able to
Yeah,
do what he needs to do.
yeah.
Let me ask you this: you said Zeke is not performing well. Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that he got a contract last year? Like he's all secured, he's got the bag, and now he's got nothing to prove.
Um, it could be. I don't like saying that of players because then that would mean they don't really care about their job. And I know Zeke works hard at his craft.
Hmm.
I think what happened is he fell victim to the same treatment of how Saquon Barkley fell because Saquon is a great running back, but he has no offensive line.
Yeah,
Um, Ezekiel Elliott used to have the best offensive line in football,
yeah,
and now they're just demolished. They've only got what maybe they've got maybe one offensive lineman on that squad that actually was from that amazing offensive line, Zach Martin. That's it. Everybody else is rookies and replacements.
hmm,
So I mean, I people like to say, "Oh, you premier running backs are they're a dime a dozen." Yeah, but guess what? You got to have somebody blocking for you to be able to be successful.
oh
You ain't
yeah,
got nobody blocking. It's just like quarterbacks. You got to
yep,
have somebody to catch the ball to be successful or get open to be successful. It's the people you have around them, and
yeah,
that's what's making Zach or Zeke a little bit, I guess, challenged for what he's trying to get to. Now, I will say this: his fumbles are on him. He needs to
yeah.
clean that up.
That's the thing. He fumbled a lot early in the season with Dak as the quarterback.
Yeah, the fumbles are on him. He's got to clean that up. I feel like that's more of a mental thing than anything else. But
Hmm.
as far as like the yards, as far as like the playmaking ability that he's had, you look at them when he was leading the league in rushing for 2 out of the 3 years, beginning 2 out of 3 years he was in the league. He had the best offensive line in football.
Yeah.
What changed? The offensive line. So
Yeah, yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, I didn't mean to like attack his work ethic or anything like that. Obviously, there's been injuries; they haven't been playing well. I think your quarterback has to be a decent threat in order for you to get any type of room in the running game. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, Andy Dalton is out this week, so it's going to be the third stringer again. I forgot his name.
Ben
Ah,
something Danucci.
okay. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if it's going to be a very Ben DiNucci,
What is
um,
his middle name? Because I know it starts with an A.
Anthony.
I see. I thought I was thinking Anthony because when I
Yeah.
was watching Undisputed this past week, um, Skip, who's a big Cowboys fan,
Oh yeah.
said his initials BAD.
Yeah. Bad.
Uh,
He's a bad man. Like Aaron. No, no, no. I'm not even going to say it.
let's
Not
please
even going to finish that sentence.
not in the same sentence. But we got to bring it back around to college because we got off on a tangent again. Our we have to give condolences, not condolences. He's not dead. We have to give our thoughts and prayers.
Hmm.
That's a better I guess uh whatever I'm trying to say. Situation for Ole Miss tight end DeMarcus Thomas. Dalmarcus or no, yeah, Dalmarcus DA. Because he left practice Monday, not being able to feel his legs after a brutal hit, a serious hit in practice. He had to be airlifted to the hospital in Memphis. Well, he went to a local hospital, and then he had to be airlifted to another hospital in Memphis. Um, they said that Lane Kiffin was shaken pretty badly from
Hmm.
that situation. I would be too because yeah, football is a brutal sport. But they said that he,
Yeah.
as of this afternoon, he had regained feeling in his lower extremities. So
Hmm.
that's a good sign, and they're saying that it's looking positive going forward. Now I don't think he may come back and play football. After that, I probably wouldn't. I would probably hang it up. I'm done. I'm not. Football is great, but I want to have a quality of life going forward, and
Yeah.
that just I would scare me away from football. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I've heard way too many stories of high schoolers, college players, all types of players just getting ended up paralyzed from a hit. So I hope he takes his time, even if he decides to come back. I hope he, takes a little time to make that decision.
Yeah,
Consult family. Obviously, you want to play. Everybody wants to play, but he's got to make sure it's the right thing for him.
yeah. I mean, some football is an outlet for a lot of situations that people are in. People in the hood, people, you know, that are caught in bad situations. I mean, you can make it out by getting a scholarship to college, and that I hope that he can continue his education going forward. Not saying that that's the situation he's in, but you know that is a huge lift to a lot of people going forward. So prayers up to him. Hopefully he will make a full recovery and be out there on the field if he wants to next year.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
All right, we'll get into a little bit more here in college football. A couple of questions that I had. First of all, let's do this in a different order. Who's leading your Heisman race? I know that you probably haven't been watching college football as much.
Yeah, maybe I should ask the questions on this one.
Well, well, for me,
Uh,
if I had to say anything, it'd be Mac Jones from Alabama. Um, Again, he's got uh, Madden like receivers that Tua had
yep,
uh,
yep.
when they were playing. So I mean, Waddle is out for the season. He's got injured and he's out for the season, but he's got Devontae Smith, and he's got a couple of other freshmen, sophomore wide receivers that are 5 stars, fast, physical. But I mean, we have to learn from what Jameis Winston did in Tampa Bay. I mean, you have premier wide receivers and you go 30 for 30
Hmm.
in that season. I mean, it's not just you press a button and you're automatically good with star receivers. You got to get the ball to them. You got to read the defense. The defense is as good as, if not better than, your team. So yeah, Mac Jones would probably be number 1A. Trevor Lawrence, I, I wouldn't. I would probably put ETN, the running back for Clemson, at number 1B, just because he's done so much for Clemson. Like he's just incredibly gifted um, in that offense and what they ask him to do. So it's just there's a lot of great talent out there, but that's my 1A and 1B. Um, Going down the line, there's really nobody else that really comes close. Um, that's not true. Justin Fields is another good one. He'd be 1C.
How
Justin,
many
what he
games have
did,
they actually played?
they played 2 games so far,
2 games.
but yeah, 2 games so far. But Justin Fields, they played Penn State Saturday night, and that game was incredible to watch. Justin Fields was on point pretty much the whole entire game.
Yeah,
Um, they went down
he's
the
a
field.
beast.
They went down the field and scored. He reads the defense well. He throws on the run very well. He doesn't. He's like a prototypical quarterback. He doesn't want to
Hmm.
run. He'll run if he has to. He's not. He can be a dual threat quarterback, but he's not. He's a passer.
Yeah,
Dude, he can read the defense very very well. And so honestly, he's up there. He really is up there with the receivers that he has, and making a lot out of what he has. I mean, he's
yeah.
incredible. Now, give him a couple more games on his belt. probably 3 or 4, and if he has this performance like he did Saturday night with Penn State, right,
Yeah.
he'll be right up there with Mac Jones.
Hmm. Yeah, I think he's better in terms. Well, I don't know if you talk about NFL draft stock or Heisman, but I think as far as his NFL potential, I would go Justin Fields. He kind of reminds me of like Cam Newton mixed with Trevor Lawrence. Almost like a Deshaun Watson in some ways. But yeah, like his arm is great. He can scramble when he has to. Justin Fields definitely would get my vote for Heisman. But this Heisman race is going to be so different in so many
Yeah, it's gonna be
ways.
skewed, very much
Yeah.
skewed.
I mean, there's a lot of teams that just aren't going to be able to play as many games as their counterparts. So I don't know. I feel for the judges who have to make a decision this year. I think Mac Jones, as great as he's been, he's not going to be able to get the looks that some other people are going to be able to get. I think when you're in Alabama, I mean, well, did Tua win the Heisman?
I don't think he won the Heisman. No,
No, I don't think he won. So normally, Alabama quarterbacks do not get a look because it's considered a run
this is
offense.
this is accurate.
Yeah, but
I mean,
lately they've been throwing a lot more. They've
well,
opened it up a lot more.
didn't Jalen win one? But it wasn't with Alabama.
No, Jalen Hurts won a championship, but he didn't win the Heisman.
The Heisman, yeah.
Yeah.
I know he was close a couple of years, but I don't think he actually because I think Baker Mayfield won when he was there. Stole one from him, and Kyler
Oh,
Murray.
just kidding. Jalen Hurts won when he was at Oklahoma. Did he
See,
win the last one?
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking he won one, but it wasn't with Alabama
Yeah.
because
Runner up. Golly, I don't know Jack.
well, I knew, yeah. I don't either because I felt like he won one because of how he was playing with Oklahoma. Because when even though he was what 27-2, 27-3 in college,
Hmm.
they don't really. I mean, the Heisman is for spectacular individual stats.
Yeah.
It doesn't really account for your team wins as much. I mean, it does. It
Yeah.
weighs in. It's a factor, but it's
Mhm.
not like the. I mean, like you can have 100 yards passing. I mean, you look at the guy from Kentucky. I forget his name. The quarterback from Kentucky. He wasn't a flashy quarterback. But he led his team to a good bowl. Was it last year or 2 years ago?
Mhm.
Um, but he wasn't the flashiest or quarterback out there. Wasn't considered for a Heisman Trophy. I mean, it's about how good you are on the field individually, and how
Yeah.
and Justin Fields, he had 300 and some yards passing Saturday night. He didn't throw a pick. I mean, he played within the game, and this is why Trevor Lawrence, um, other Mac Jones,
Mhm.
they're all considered for the Heisman.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's going to be an interesting race, as everything is in 2020. I don't even know. They usually do the Heisman Trophy presentation in December, but I have no idea if that's going to get delayed. So we'll see. We'll see. I think everybody is every team playing like a condensed schedule.
For the most part, yes. They are playing within their division. They're not playing a lot of outside opponents.
Hmm.
So that cuts off about 3 or 4 games there. But they're the meat of their schedule. They play their division. That's about 8 or 9 games there. So they're going to be playing. There's going to still be a huge chunk being played this year. And the Big Ten was it the Big Ten that got started late.
Hmm.
Their schedule, I think, is going to be a little bit shorter because they started late, and then the Pac-12, which starts this weekend, is going to
Yeah.
be shortened because they still are going to try to get the playoffs played, the bowl games played, and the playoffs and the national championship played by January 11th.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
it's
means
gonna
that you
be
got basically less than 2 months to get
right.
everything in.
So it's not.
So, yeah,
It's gonna be really condensed. Yes, that the
yeah,
short answer. Yes.
yeah, this just makes everything weird and strange, and I don't know. I mean, you got to do it. Um, every league had to do it this year, besides football. Football technically didn't have any preseason. Excuse me, the NFL didn't have a preseason, but yeah, it's good to have it. We'll see what happens, but I think more than anything, these awards or these individual awards are going to have almost like an asterisk next to them
Mhm.
because everybody started at a different time. There wasn't a huge sample size. They didn't play outside their conference, and so we'll see. We'll see what happens. And I think in a lot of ways that kind of favors or gives Mac Jones more of a chance to win
Mhm.
because Alabama's what number 2 right now.
Well, there a lot of teams are gonna put him number one because Trevor Lawrence is out with that
Oh
injury.
yes,
So
yes,
a
exactly. And he
lot,
would
a
have been
lot
the
of
Heisman front runner for sure. So
yeah. But I mean, if Clemson doesn't lose on Saturday,
mm,
then I think they will regain number one once Trevor comes back. But I don't know. It all depends on how they play against Notre Dame. And Trevor's not the team. Like he is one guy.
hmm
Clemson has a very very good team. I mean, their defense is stellar. They still have all their wide receivers. Travis Etienne, the running back, is again a Heisman contender. So
yeah,
they've got the players to win. It's just how well will that backup quarterback play, and will he not make a mistake that will cost them the game?
yeah. Yeah, so let's get into some power rankings then. I mean, the first CFP rankings don't come out until Tuesday, November 24th, which is about 2-3 weeks from right now when we're recording. Definitely going to tune into that at 7 p.m. Be interesting to see where they rank Pac-12 teams and some other teams who haven't really played for that long or who got a later start. But yeah, who's your top 4 right now? Who's your 4 that are actually in the CFP playoff?
Whew. Top four, top four. Well, I have to go ahead and say FSU, and I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. There's no way if FSU is anywhere up there. Clemson has to be number one. They've been in it. They keep trucking. They keep on trucking. That's their man. Their Dabo Sweeney is a magician. What he
Yep.
does when he's coaching. So I mean,
Yeah.
Clemson. It's hard to argue that Clemson isn't number one. I would honestly leapfrog Ohio State over Alabama. I would because Ohio State. I think Ohio State
Uh,
is a
uh,
more complete
oh,
team, and they will prove that going forward. I'm
okay.
not I'm not a
Okay.
biggest fan of Alabama because they have no defense. If you let Mississippi or Ole Miss put up 48 on you and you have to outscore them 50 something to 48,
hmm
I mean you're not a complete team. And teams can score on you, that which is a problem. So I with Waddle out of the game,
Yeah.
it's going to be quite difficult for them to, not difficult as in like they're going to lose, but like when they start getting into these tougher one, like Auburn's not playing. They destroyed LSU this past weekend, so Auburn's going to come with a vengeance, and if they can't outscore Auburn, I mean Auburn put up 48 points this past weekend. So I don't know. I would leapfrog OSU over Alabama, and then I mean Notre Dame. They until they lose, I mean they're gonna disappoint at some point. They will disappoint at some point. So that is my top four. Not any really different from what they have, except for the 2 and 3 are switched.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's too early. I mean, I think the AP poll has Ohio State at 3, but it's just too early. When you look at the sample size, Ohio State has only played 2 games. I got to see more than that. Got to see more than that. The Auburn game is an interesting one that you bring up. The Iron Bowl at the end of the year, always a classic, and so we'll see what actually happens there. See if there's an upset because Auburn I think has lost 2 games already.
Yes, they
They're
have.
4-2,
Yep.
so if they're able to pull off the upset, that's going to be a really bad loss. But maybe not. Um, yeah, Clemson for me. Clemson 1, Alabama 2, Notre Dame. I just always feel like they lose. I
Well,
guess
they
we're gonna go
do. That's the
Notre
thing.
Dame 3, and
I
then Ohio State 4. Yeah, nah. I'm gonna go out on a limb. Miami 4.
Yeah.
And with that, I think we'll get into the hot topic of the
Yeah,
week.
let's keep that going. I don't know what you saw there, but you know what? It's your ranking. It's fine.
It's my
It's
rankings.
your ranking. It's fine.
Don't hate, bro.
I'm
Bro,
not
don't
hating. I
hate.
just can't see Miami up there, but it's fine. Whatever.
Hey, Miami's
Uh,
5-1. We'll see. We will
it's true.
see.
It is
But
true.
of course, they're not going to beat Clemson. So
Or
we'll see.
Florida State. Well, wait, they already beat them the first game of the year. It's fine. It's fine. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine.
You okay? You're right there.
No, I'm a little bitter, but it's fine. I'm a little bitter. So it's fine though.
All right. Well, let's talk about some NFL news. Lots of NFL news. The trade deadline is coming up,
It's
and
actually
there.
passed.
Oh, did
The
it?
deadline
When?
was
When?
today at 4 p.m.
Okay. So the trade deadline is passed. There were some moves, I think, last week and the week before.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not
To
a lot
me,
of not a lot of the moves that I thought this happened this year.
yeah, I don't know. For me, the NFL trade deadline is never a big deal. I feel like the offseason is where you get really major signings, big signings. But yeah, I feel like usually trades don't usually go down. Because during the season, because there's so many injuries already, people are starting
Mm.
to get the chemistry that they want.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so for me, I would probably actually go a different route with this. But what do you think about the trades that happened in the last 2 weeks?
Well, I think I'm just pulling up the trades now. There, like I said, there haven't been a ton of trades that I was hoping for. Nothing. I mean, there are a lot of teams that needed help and didn't get the help.
Hmm.
49ers needed some help. Um, you
Yeah.
would think that they would make
Well,
some moves. Atlanta, you would think would make some moves. I mean, they really need to. Yeah, they really need to do some things. Um, my Eagles.
yeah, but a trade is not going to help them.
I mean, it could help you. Salvage something. I don't know. I think Atlanta is probably a trade away from on defense from being a stellar team. Like they're not bad of a team. They just don't know how to finish defensively.
Are you sure?
I do. They're up. They're usually up by double digits. Like that's not a. You can blame that somewhat on the offense, but defensively, you got to stop somebody. Like you got to be good on defense. Like there's no way you're up 20 points and lose by the offense. Like I mean, the offense did their job. They put points on the board. So defensively, they need somebody. They
Yeah,
they
but it's
need.
Atlanta. We saw what happened when Atlanta lost to the Patriots. I
Yeah,
don't
I
think that was
mean,
on the defense at all.
they should have stopped Tom Brady. I mean, we did. We played him. We stopped Tom Brady one time, and that was the difference between winning and losing. So the defense has to
Mm,
come up. But there's a reason why they say offense wins games, defense wins championships. There is a reason for that because defense has to stop somebody. It all you need is 2 or 3 stops, a half, and you win a game. Like and Atlanta seems to not be able to get any stops in the second half. That's the problem. So that's personnel. Personnel is not doing what they need to do. So a couple of trades for Atlanta in the defensive department could be the difference between them losing almost every game this season and probably being a 500 or above team. I mean, they were up in what, maybe
Yeah,
six of
in a lot of their
the
games.
probably no, well, 5 of the 7 games that they played this year.
Yeah, there are a lot of games that they're very close games. The Cowboys game, the which other game are they? I think they were up in the Bears game. So yeah, I think the Lions game, like, okay, so that's where the Lions game is a perfect example of, yes, defense should have stopped them. Well, what about the fact that the Falcons scored the touchdown when they could have ran out the clock? Like, it's, to me, it's just a bunch of offensive mishaps that have led to their just lackluster performances. And I just can't get behind the Falcons. I don't know what it is. Like, every time you think that they're going to put it together, they just, something else happens. And I'm done with Matt Ryan. I know
Yeah, Matt
everybody says
Ryan's.
that he's, still a good quarterback. He's still good. And obviously, most teams would want Matt Ryan if they have a quarterback issue, but he's getting older and he's not in the Brady, Rodgers, Russell Wilson conversation.
Well, I mean, he's had
So,
Julio Jones as his safety blanket
mhm,
for the entire career that he's been in Atlanta.
yep,
It reminds me of the quarterback in Detroit, um,
Matthew Stafford
Matt
when he had
Stafford.
Matt Megatron.
Exactly, with Calvin Johnson. That's the only reason why he really shined in Detroit. And
Mhm,
then at the end of that, you see him now. He doesn't put up the numbers that he used to put up. I mean, he's got 2 premier wide receivers and Marvin Jones Jr. and Kenny Galladay, but not putting up near the numbers that he
yeah.
put up with Megatron.
He
Uh,
used to just throw it up to Megatron and he would miraculously catch it because he was Megatron.
right.
And I used to feel bad for Calvin Johnson because it's like, what are you doing? You're gonna get me killed out here with some of the passes that he would throw. And yeah, sure enough, man. Matthew Stafford, he, to me, he's a exact counterpart or comparison to Matt Ryan in Atlanta.
Yeah. I mean,
Big arm, good quarterback, but they're not that great.
yeah, there's a lot of that. I mean, in the Falcons, they were rumors that the Atlanta will move on from Matt and from Julio Jones, try to
Hmm.
get younger because Calvin Ridley is the young up and coming wide receiver in Atlanta, and he's been taking over most of the receptions. I say that even though Julio Jones had like 10 receptions for like 150 some yards this past weekend. So,
Oh, jeez.
or last weekend, I believe. I don't know if I'm not sure. I have to check the stats on that, but yeah. So Julio is a safety blanket. He still got it. He still can do it.
Yeah.
We would love to have Julio Jones in Philadelphia, but that'll never happen. Um,
Yeah, that would have been a good trade.
that
The
would never
trade
happen.
that had the most potential and was most intriguing to me was Will Fuller of the Texans potentially going to Green Bay. It did not
Yes.
happen, but I'm a big
Yes.
fan of Will Fuller. I remember him at Notre Dame. He was a big piece of the puzzle there when he was in college. And I think he's just a great receiver, a great, maybe not a number one, but a great number two. Runs well in the slot position, runs
Hmm.
great routes there, and also has big play potential. So sad to see that that didn't go through. I think, I don't know. I really want to see Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay do something. They're another one that they lose these close games, these
Yeah.
weird games, and I'm not about that life. But I don't know if it's defense or offense. But either way, Will Fuller would have definitely helped them on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah. I think the one trade that got me um not, I mean, I guess it's not scratching my head, but like kind of got my antennas up was the trade that the Chargers made to the Titans. They sent Desmond King to the Titans, one of their Pro Bowl corners that the Chargers have had when the Chargers problem has been their defense. I mean, the same thing, same issues, the same issues that they have, is issues that Atlanta has. They can't
Hmm.
stop anybody. I
Yeah.
mean, yes, they have Duran James, but he's been injured for the past 2 years. That's not a good way to start as a player. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, just Desmond King gives him a different dimension. He's a Pro Bowl corner, very very good. He can play on his own. He can hold his own. And to trade him to the Titans, I was like, the Titans, if they can get healthy on defense, I mean, they were in the top five, top 10 last year.
Titans who? I mean, who they?
And that,
Bengals win. Titans go home losers. That's what I say.
I like the way that you're flexing on them by drinking your
What's that?
your
What's that?
like, like the way you flexing
Is
on
that
them by
is
drinking
that Cincinnati? Is that yeah? Uh-huh.
a little bit of disrespect
I
on that
came
side. I see
prepared.
that. I
I
see
came
that.
prepared.
I see that. That's actually good flex. And the guys, folks, I can't make this up. That was not scripted.
I honestly didn't plan that at all.
Yeah,
So
that was
yeah.
not scripted at all, but it worked out perfectly. But yeah, I just think that improves the Texans defense or Titans defense tremendously, and it weakens the Chargers even more because now who they got playing on the outside, who are they gonna be able to stop? Because this weekend, I mean, Justin Herbert is a beast of a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
This dude can play, even though he's a rookie. He's looked better than Joe Burrow. He's looked better than Carson Wentz. He's looked better than pretty much every quarterback out there. I mean, he's got a big arm. He's very accurate. He can read the defenses. He's super smart. He's just your prototypical quarterback that you really want on your team. And to lose after you're up by double digits, yeah, they needed to keep all the pieces on defense they could, and that was disappointing for the Chargers.
Yeah, yeah, big time. But Vrabel, man, Vrabel is a great coach, head coach of the Tennessee Titans, and I'm sure he'll be able to integrate um, that Pro Bowl DB and get everything working right. I'm interested to see what happens to the Titans down the stretch. So we are quickly running out of time, but I did want to get to an injury that was kind of a trade talk. Heard a lot of noise out of Cleveland this week, where OBJ officially, I think he was out for the season.
Yes, he is.
Torn
ACL.
Torn ACL. I think that happened last week, if I'm not mistaken.
This past
week before.
Yeah, the last week. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weekends ago. But last week there were rumblings that he's out for the season. He's not returning. ACL injury takes a while to come back from. And there's a good chance that he may not be coming back to Cleveland. He doesn't necessarily like Cleveland, doesn't necessarily get along with Baker Mayfield. So, hypothetical, who ends up trading or I guess signing? I don't know if he's a free agent or not, but who ends up with OBJ next season?
Philadelphia.
That's the answer we were looking for. Ding, 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 ding.
Honestly,
you try not to be a homer for 1 minute. You
honestly, I would think Tampa Bay because it look like they trying to get everybody they can for Tom Brady. Like they're not trying to make the same mistake that Bill made in New England and not have weapons around Tom. So
yeah,
I feel like they're trying
all in.
Yeah, they're trying to get every little wide receiver they can. That's going to be great because I mean, if Tom can do it without a premier, I mean, your Julian Edelman as your best wide receiver, really.
Yeah.
If they can do it with him, I mean, Mike Evans is leaps and bounds better than Julian Edelman is.
Oh yeah, big time.
Everybody else that they had in New England. I mean, that's why New England is out there searching for wide receivers for Cam Newton. And not saying that Cam Newton is actually a prototypical great thrower of the football, but I mean, when you're trying to search for somebody I mean, they should have known this when Tom Brady left. Tom Brady was trying to tell them, I need wide receivers to throw to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why he left. So at the end of the day, New England's another great place for
I
LBJ to go, but I
I
doubt
got the
he'll in there.
perfect destination. The perfect destination for OBJ is Seattle with Russell Wilson.
Man, that'd be
Got
deadly.
DK
That'd be deadly.
Metcalf. You
Tyler
got
Lockett,
yeah, but Lockett,
DJ
he's getting
Moore.
a little bit older. Lockett's getting a little bit older,
But he
so
had a what? He had a game last week.
oh yeah,
Uh
yeah, yeah.
with DK with not DK Mac. Well, DK Mac I was throwing was I think getting double teamed and stuff, but like I mean the Tyler Lockett just went off 150 some yards I believe. Passing 2 touchdowns something like that. Bro, he went off.
Yeah, Wilson had 261 for 4 touchdowns. Metcalf had 160 yards, 61 yards, 2 touchdowns, and
That's the week before that, or week after that, or before that, I should say.
you're talking about the week before against the Cardinals.
Yes, maybe. Yes.
Yeah, against the Cardinals, he had 3 TDs, 200 yards. Yeah, Tyler Lockett was balling, and they should have won that game, but Russell Wilson had a bad game with some interceptions. Um, yeah, man, I just think that OBJ he he's turning into a little bit of a wide receiver diva. You know how we see that a lot plays out in the NFL a lot, where the wide receivers become too big, too flashy, too much attention, and it becomes a problem. So I think Russell Wilson could get him the ball. I think Pete Carroll is a player's coach. I think that whole situation out there in Seattle, it's a bigger city, but not too big to be distracting. Better than Cleveland for OBJ, but that's what I'm looking for next year. If Seattle could get OBJ, I mean, they were interested in Antonio Brown. If they can get OBJ, woo that's going to be a big one.
Yeah, and then throw Zach Ertz in there, and then that'll be a trifecta. Because I
Nah,
mean,
you got to keep Zach Ertz with the Eagles,
I
man.
feel like no, there are rumors that the Eagles are trying to shop him. So,
Oh wow,
yeah, just throw
no
Zach Ertz in
loyalty.
there. Hey, it's a business. What can I say?
It's a business, man. Okay, let's get into some quick predictions before we go. I don't know how far out you want to go. You want to go Super Bowl predictions?
Let's go Super Bowl.
All right, all right. I've got Seattle. I don't know. I know it's a long ways away, and they're not perfect. They got some holes they got to work on, but I really got Seattle, and I would love to see Seattle versus Kansas City in the Super Bowl.
I've got the Steelers beating
Mm.
Kansas City
Ooh,
in the
that's a
Super
good
Bowl
one. That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
because the Steelers have regained their form.
Oh yeah,
quick.
Well, Ben is healthy, man. If he can stay healthy,
if he can stay healthy, that team is going places. I mean, and they got a defense that's out of this world. I mean, T.J. Watt, Bud Dupree, Stephen Tuitt. I mean, those guys. That was just a handful. I mean, and you got what's his name, Fitzpatrick, that safety from Alabama. He's at the back end. I mean, he's literally having almost two interceptions a game. Just alone, he's everywhere. Like he is such a beast on the field. Like that defense, that's the thing that gets me. Their defense, their offense is great, but that defense is even better. Like when Lamar Jackson can have a game and you come back and still beat him at the end. Like, I mean, Lamar doesn't lose to many people. But Lamar only loses to Patrick Mahomes when he plays Patrick Mahomes.
I was about to say,
that's the only person he loses to.
Yeah,
but for them to for Lamar to have himself a game, rushing the football, throwing the ball, for them to be up 17-7, I think at halftime.
Yeah,
and to come back and whoop the Ravens in the fourth quarter. Like, bruh, that defense is legit.
Yeah, I think when the Steelers have a dominant defense and then Ben Roethlisberger stays healthy, And then all the weapons that he has, Juju Smith Schuster, and who's the new guy? Poole. Poole is the new guy.
Claypool.
Yeah, Claypool. Um, they're hard to stop, man. And of course, that division, besides the Ravens, that division is garbage. So yeah,
The
we'll
Browns
see.
are okay. The Browns are okay. They'll be okay.
No, the Browns, nah, nah. The Browns, now that OBJ is gone and Baker Mayfield just still feels like he's not doing anything, like he's not improving. We'll see what happens, but I think it's clearly the Steelers' division this year, and I would love to see a AFC Championship game, Kansas City versus the Steelers. Ooh, that would be such a good game. Such
Yeah.
a good game.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, it's going to be a very interesting end of the year. Obviously, again, the election in America. That's a thing that's happening.
America.
Yeah, and then we got some football to kind of close out the end of 2020, which has been an exhausting, um, just crazy year with unprecedented um, actions taken by the government and yeah, and everybody else, every sports league and commissioner. So we appreciate you guys listening to us. You can always follow us at YDKJ Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. Get a little bit more news from us, and we would love to hear from you on um, how the show is going. If you were enjoying it, you could also email us ydkjpodcast@gmail.com. And please subscribe and tell a friend, excuse me, or two about YDKJ Podcast on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, and more places. You can find us almost anywhere you listen to podcasts. Also, go ahead and check out our website, ydkjpodcast.com, where we blog from time to time. And before we go, I did miss one thing. I wanted to shout out Carlos Dunlap. He's been a DN for the Cincinnati Bengals. I almost said Chicago Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals for a very long time. Great player. He is pieced out. I think he went to Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. And just good luck to him. Appreciate his years and years and years of playing and just being a great defender for that Cincinnati D line.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to add, Hugh?
Whatever you guys do, don't ride in the streets. Whatever the election results are, stay safe out there. Love each other, and watch a lot of sports because the NBA is going to be back soon, and the MLB is going to be back soon. Hockey's going to be back soon. Of course, football's on, and it's going to continue to go. Yeah, so just enjoy life and football and sports in general.
Yeah. I also remember coronavirus is still around. Flu season is
that's still
coming
around?
in strong. Yeah, it's still a thing. Still a thing. So everybody, just please be safe. Take care of yourselves. Like you said, just be kind and love each other. We got a lot going on, but we can make it through if we actually stick together. And that's our message. This is You Don't Know Jack. We are the Outsiders Looking In. My name is Chris Brown.
And I'm Hubert Maitland.
And we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.